Hi everyone, I'm Dr Clarke and welcome back to my channel. Today we're covering another classic CASC station, explaining Lewy body dementia to a worried relative. This is a common scenario where examiners are looking to see more than just your knowledge of this condition. They're assessing whether you can explain a complex diagnosis clearly, pitched at the right level, whilst showing empathy, structure and awareness of what's important to the family. In this video, I'll walk you through a step-by-step explanation which you can adapt for your exam. We'll cover what dementia is in general, what makes Lewy body dementia different, how we make the diagnosis, then treatment options, and how to support the family moving forwards. I'll incorporate key communication tips throughout so that by the end of this video, you'll have a blueprint for this station which you can take into your exam with confidence. You have been asked to speak with Mr. Aaron Patel, whose 77-year-old father, Ravi, has been on the ward for 8 weeks following confusion, fluctuating attention and unusual behaviour. He was initially treated for delirium due to infection and dehydration, but his cognitive problems persisted. During admission, he has experienced visual hallucinations, including seeing his late wife. His ACE-3 score was 45 and a DAT scan showed findings consistent with Lewy body dementia. Staff have also noted episodes of acting out dreams in his sleep. There are no clear signs of Parkinsonism. Please explain the diagnosis of Lewy body dementia and outline its management. Hello, is it Mr. Patel? My name's Dr. Clarke. I'm one of the psychiatrists that's been looking after your father. I can imagine this must have been a really worrying time for you and your family. My aim today is to explain the results of our assessments, what the diagnosis means, and then go over the next steps we can take together in supporting your father. Please do stop me at any point if anything I say isn't clear or you need me to go over anything again. This opening shows empathy, sets the agenda, and invites questions early. Initially, we thought your dad was suffering from a condition called delirium, which was caused by an infection and dehydration. However, he has now been in hospital for 8 weeks and the infection and dehydration have long been treated. This led us to looking for other causes of your father's difficulties and his confusion. And based on all of our assessments in hospital, including memory and thinking tests, his symptom history, and the DAT scan we did of his brain, we believe that your father is suffering from a condition called Lewy body dementia. After delivering the diagnosis, make sure to pause and check understanding. Am I making sense so far? Have you ever heard of Lewy body dementia before? Mr. Patel has likely heard of dementia, but not Lewy body dementia specifically. Your explanation should start broad with dementia, then narrow down to LBD. Dementia is an umbrella term which we use to describe changes in the brain which cause problems with memory, thinking or behaviour that affect daily life. There are several different types of dementia, the most common one being Alzheimer's disease. But based on all of your dad's assessments and tests and his symptoms, the most likely diagnosis here is Lewy body dementia. Next, explain Lewy body dementia specifically, making sure to avoid medical jargon. In Lewy body dementia, tiny protein deposits called Lewy bodies build up in brain cells and affect how they work. This can cause a combination of symptoms including fluctuating alertness, where some days your dad seems fairly sharp and other days he can seem quite confused. Visual hallucinations such as seeing your late mother, which may feel very real to him. And movement and sleep changes, such as stiffness or slowness, which can resemble Parkinson's disease, and sometimes acting out dreams at night. These symptoms of Lewy body dementia fit very well with what your father seems to be experiencing. Notice how I chunk the information to prevent overwhelming the relative and display good pacing. Adding pauses can also help to invite interruption and questioning as needed. Unfortunately, there is no cure for Lewy body dementia at the moment, but there are several treatments which we can use to help with some of his symptoms. We often start with medications called acetylcholinesterase inhibitors, which can help with memory and concentration. If these symptoms get much worse, we can also add in a drug called memantine. For movement problems, we sometimes use medications which are used in Parkinson's disease, but we do this very carefully and with extra monitoring. and these symptoms do not currently appear to be affecting your father. For the hallucinations, we generally avoid antipsychotics because in Lewy body dementia, they can cause really severe side effects. However, if these become really distressing, we might cautiously use one of the safer options, but always with great care at low doses and with extra monitoring. Other symptoms like low mood or poor sleep can also be treated. For example, we could give melatonin for sleep problems or antidepressants if he's suffering with depression. Pause and check understanding again before moving on to non-medical management. Is this all making sense so far? Would you like me to go over any of these treatments in more detail? Just as important as our medications are our non-medical approaches. For example, keeping a regular daily routine can really help to orientate your dad and reduce his confusion. Reminiscence therapy, like looking at old photos, and music therapy can be really helpful too. Gentle exercise, social activities and hobbies can also all support his well-being. Occupational therapists can visit in order to assess the home environment and arrange for things like shower grab bars and stair lifts to be installed in order to reduce the risk of falls and keep him functioning independently at home for as long as possible and as safely as possible. We'll also link you with carer support groups and dementia charities so that you don't feel like you're facing this alone. And as things progress, we'll guide you through care planning so that important decisions are all made in advance with plenty of support. Lewy body dementia is a progressive condition, but everyone's journey is different. Over time, memory and independence will decline, but there will be good days and bad days. And our goal is always to strive to support you, your dad's quality of life, and keep him safe. There are a few practical issues I need to highlight now. Don't forget to mention driving when delivering a dementia diagnosis. Driving is no longer safe and his condition must be reported to the DVLA by yourselves. He cannot resume driving again unless the DVLA say that it is safe for him to do so again. Because of his hallucinations and dream enactment, sometimes there may be safety risks at home with his behaviour. We'll help you plan around these if and when they arise too. You also mentioned wanting him to stay at home, so we'll involve the wider team now to see if this can be supported as quickly and as safely as possible. I want to reassure you that Lewy body dementia is generally not inherited, meaning it doesn't generally run in families. The biggest risk factor is ageing. I know the hallucinations are particularly upsetting for you to see. Unfortunately, they may continue, but we'll work with you on ways to reassure your dad and reduce how distressing they are for him and for everyone around him. I've shared a lot of information today. Could I pause here and ask, what are your main questions or worries at this stage? I will give you some written information and connect you with support groups too. And of course, we'll continue meeting with you regularly to make sure you're supported and your dad gets the best care possible. This is a strong and reassuring close to the station. It checks concerns and offers ongoing support. The examiner will see this as good communication skills and award marks for empathy. This station is all about clarity, structure and empathy. The examiners aren't testing whether you know every detail of Lewy body dementia, but they do want to see that you can explain the diagnosis in simple language and link the common symptoms to the relative, check understanding regularly, communicate a holistic management plan in a safe, structured way, and confidently answer the relative's concerns with empathy. If you do all of these things, then you'll surely hit the high marks in this station. Thanks for watching. As always, if you found this video helpful for your revision, then please do give it a like, subscribe to my channel, and comment below which CASC topic you'd like me to cover next. Stay tuned for the next video in my Pass the CASC series.